Lily was seated at the dining table, tapping her finger against it while waiting for the food. Suddenly, the waiters arrived carrying the dishes and placed them in front of Lily. Before she could even move her hand to lift the lids, the chef arrived. "Why did you trouble yourself? You could have just sent for me," he said softly, and removed the lid from the first dish. The aroma reached Hasina's nostrils, and in excitement she murmured, "Wow, truffle pasta." "We are confident you will like this," he said, as he removed the lids from the rest of the dishes. Hasina looked at the spread in amazement. Everything looked perfect, from the presentation to the aroma. It was all so rich and royal. "Now do begin, madam. What are you waiting for?" the chef said, looking at Lily. I don't understand where to start," Lily replied, confused. "Oh, such a small matter," the chef chuckled. "Truffle pasta is your favorite, so start with that." Saying this, he served the dish onto Lily's plate and asked her to tell him how it tasted. Lily took the first bite and closed her eyes, savoring the incredible taste. It was so delicious that the moment it touched her tongue, it melted instantly. She couldn't stop herself from taking a second bite. While chewing, she murmured, there's magic in your hands." She was enjoying the food to the fullest, while the chef, meanwhile, was lost in another world. He was simply staring at Lily with his mouth slightly open, completely absorbed in her. This divine beauty has no end. No one in the entire world can be this unbelievably beautiful. Truly, God must have created you with immense patience. That's why you are so rare, Lily, he thought, gazing at every detail of her. "I'm done," Lily said after finishing her meal, pulling the chef out of his dreamlike state. "Oh, how can that be? You haven't even tasted the dessert yet," he said. He presented a variety of desserts in front of her, leaving Lily speechless once again. "Oh, all this really wasn't necessary. I won't even be able to eat so much," she said with a gentle smile. The chef looked at her and, locking eyes with her, murmured, "Even all of this feels bland when serving you, and you're saying it wasn't necessary." And as he said this, he began serving the dessert to Lily. Lily didn't know why, but she had started feeling uncomfortable. She wasn't getting any positive vibes from her surroundings. "I endure every pain with the hope that God showers light after every trial. And now, the time for that light to pour has arrived." The chef whispered these words into Lily's ear in a husky tone, sending goosebumps across her skin. Beads of sweat appeared on her forehead, and she swallowed nervously, feeling uneasy. "Please taste it," the chef murmured. Lily hesitantly took the first bite of the cake, served as dessert, and reflexively pushed the plate away. I have something important to take care of," she said, and immediately left without waiting for the chef's response. The chef smirked and looked at the piece of cake from which Lily had taken a bite. He picked it up and took a bite from the very same spot. As he ate, he closed his eyes and thought, "You made it even sweeter, my love. After our marriage, I will eat only from your hands." With every passing minute, his desire for Lily kept growing. He was completely lost in dreams of her, unaware of whose better half she was destined to be. His demonic lust wouldn't let him eat or sleep. He wanted only Lily with him, near him, forever. Faze was standing in the living room, leaning against the wall for support, absent-mindedly shuffling his cards while lost in thoughts of Lily. Suddenly, his gaze fell on Victor passing by. "Mia," he called out. "Yes," Victor replied, looking at him. "Is Lily, ma'am, a guest here?" he asked gently. Victor laughed and said in a low voice, "If she were a guest, she wouldn't be ordering us around like that." "Excuse me." "Oh no, she's not a guest," Victor continued. "She's going to be Madame Elena's bride." The color drained from the chef's face upon hearing Victor's words. "Hey brother, what happened? Did a snake bite you or what?" Victor asked. With a blank expression, the chef shook his head no. "I have some work to do. I'll take my leave," he said, and walked away, leaving behind a suspicious Victor. At a very fast pace, he kept shuffling the deck of cards, as if someone had betrayed him or stabbed him in the back. He stopped in front of Elena's large framed photograph and, glaring at it, pulled out 3 cards from the deck. He looked at the cards and smirked. It was the king, followed by the queen, followed by the joker. I always believed that whichever side the joker is on wins the game, but I was wrong. This time, the game is different, he smirked and continued. The side the queen stands on will win. You made a mistake by falling in love with my Lily, he said, grinding his teeth. And when a mistake is made, punishment is inevitable. But don't worry, I won't give you a very painful death. Breaking news. Elena Armst, 66, the famous underworld criminal, found dead in her bedroom. Cause of death, poison in food. And after that, the Joker and the Queen lived happily ever after. The end. He held the Queen and Joker cards in his hand and slid them into his pocket. Then he crumpled the King card tightly in his fist. Your countdown has begun, he smirked. Saying this, he pulled out a lighter, set the card on fire, and tossed it in front of Elena's photo frame. It was evening. Lily was busy watching TV in the living room when suddenly the elevator doors opened. She looked toward the lift and was left mesmerized by the sight before her. Elena stood there, holding her black coat in her hand. She was wearing a white shirt paired with black trousers. The first 2 buttons of her shirt were undone, revealing her cleavage, and her sleeves were rolled up, making her look even more stunning. Her skin was covered in sweat, giving it a subtle shine. Lily couldn't take her eyes off. Just then, Elena looked toward Lily, and Lily reflexively shifted her gaze back to the TV, pretending she hadn't seen her. Elena walked up to her, glanced at Lily and then at the television and shook her head in disapproval. What nonsense are you watching? She asked. Hey, watch it, Lily snapped. Don't you dare call my favorite show Grey's Anatomy nonsense. It's way better than you. She pointed at the TV, completely invested. See her, Meredith. She's about to mess up again. She knows exactly what she's doing, but she'll still act shocked when everything goes wrong. Oh, really? If you already know everything that's going to happen, then why are you even watching it? Elena asked, annoyed. What else should I do? You tell me. You don't let me go out, you don't let me do anything. And when I sit quietly at home, even that bothers you. Are you a human or brick wall? Lily snapped. Enough of this nonsense. Go get me a glass of water. I'm tired, Elena said curtly. Lily looked at her and in a sarcastic tone folded her hands. Yes, my lord, of course. Why just water? Shall I bring coffee as well? Tell me how much sugar and poison you'd like. And after that, I'll massage your hands, feet, and neck too. After all, you are tired, she said, then turned her attention back to the TV. This girl, wait, I'll switch it off right now, Elena said, moving toward the TV. The moment she stepped in front of the screen, a completely irritated Lily hurled the cushion lying on the sofa straight at Elena's face and scolded. Move aside, Yar. You're blocking the view. The atmosphere fell silent, frozen in that very moment. Elena stood still, staring at the floor where the cushion had landed. What happened? Did getting hit by a pillow make you lose your memory? Lily asked sarcastically. Elena looked at her for a few seconds, then shouted, Lily, and lunged at Lily to catch her. The rabbit has gone mad. Lily screamed, and before Elena could grab her, she ran toward the hall. Lily, is your brain in your knees? Why do you keep forgetting she's a goon? It wouldn't take her even a second to send you upstairs. Now only God can save you from this devil, she thought while running. Suddenly, Lily glanced back and instantly faced forward again. What she saw was terrifying. Elena was chasing her like a hungry lion. She reached the garden area. It was raining outside, but she had no other choice, so she opened the door and ran into the garden. Within moments, she was completely drenched and exhausted. As she ran further, she reached a small pond in the garden. It was a dead end. She turned back and saw Elena standing there, a smirk playing on her lips. Lily's instincts told her to stop. Suddenly, her foot slipped on the wet grass, and she was about to fall into the pond when 2 strong hands firmly caught her by the waist. Time seemed to stop. There was barely an inch of distance between them. Elena was completely lost in Lily's elegant eyes, while Lily could feel Elena's intense gaze on her. Water dripped from Elena's hair onto Lily's face. Elena wished she could stay in that moment forever, continuing this quiet, electric romance endlessly. "Rabbit, let me go," Lily screamed at the top of her lungs. The shout snapped Elena out of her dreamlike state, and reflexively she let go of Lily. Lily's mouth fell open as she flailed her hands in the air, trying to find some support, but failed. Before she could fall into the pond, she grabbed Elena by the collar and dragged her along with her, while Elena was still lost in Lily's eyes. Splash. Lily swam up to the surface and lifted her face out of the water, gasping for air. She looked around for Elena. "Where is potassium hydroxide? Did you react with water or what?" she yelled sarcastically. Suddenly, Elena popped up from the water with a pout and murmured, "Huh." Lily looked at her for a few seconds and covered her mouth with her hands. She tried hard to stop herself from laughing, but failed miserably. She burst into loud peals of laughter, pointing at Elena. "Hadagohata." Meanwhile, Elena had no idea why she was laughing. Lily stopped again, looked at her briefly, and then started giggling all over again. "Huh, why are you laughing like a witch? Will you at least tell me?" Elena asked with a cute pout. You on your head. Ha ha ha, there's a frog sitting on a lily pad. You look exactly like a frog," Lily said between laughs. "Huh, first a rabbit, now a frog. This is too much," Elena said with an adorable frown, while Lily kept laughing. Elena looked at Lily, and an ear-to-ear smile spread across her face on seeing her so happy. Her eyes grew moist as she gazed at her with pure adoration. "If you're done laughing now, then remove this frog," Elena said with a frown. "Aw, cute rabbit, wait, I'll remove it," Lily said, moving toward Elena to take the frog off. But suddenly the frog jumped onto Lily's shoulder. "Ah!" she screamed in fear, squeezing her eyes shut and clutching Elena by the shoulders. "Get this frog off me, damn it." "Huh, such drama," Elena thought, and removed the frog from Lily's shoulder. But to her surprise, Lily was still holding onto her tightly. Elena smirked mischievously and murmured, "Oh, this frog is really stubborn. It just won't go." "What? You're a gangster only by name. You can't even remove a frog," Lily said. Oh, what is this?" Elena exclaimed in mock shock. "What happened?" Lily asked. "That frog is sticking its tongue out." "What, you remove it?" Oh, it's half its tongue out now, and it's moving straight toward your mouth, and it's... Ayoza." Terrified, Lily reflexively pushed Elena into the water and kept shaking her own shoulders frantically. When nothing seemed to happen, she slowly opened her eyes and found no frog on her shoulder. "Huff, finally it's gone. Potassium hydroxide, where are you?" Elena popped up again from the water, spitting it out of her mouth. "You crazy girl. You keep throwing me into the water again and again, huh?" "Hee, sorry," Lily replied cutely, then added, "Now come on, oh wait, you're a frog, right? So you can stay here if you want. We humans catch colds if we stay in cold water too long, so I'm leaving." And saying that, she started stepping out of the pond. "Huh, silly girl," Elena muttered, following her. Both of them got out of the pond, and Lily began walking toward the house. Suddenly, her foot slipped again, but this time, Elena was right behind her, steadying her. Elena smacked her own forehead and thought, this girl doesn't even know how to walk. Without wasting a second, she scooped Lily up in her arms and started heading upstairs. Elena was focusing on the path, while Lily was just adoring Elena for this gesture. As the couple was breaking the small barriers between them, someone's demonic gaze was on them, and the person was burning in destruction.